Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. And recently we did get some new January 2027 set rumors slash leaks. We did get a couple of them, nothing like, well, I shouldn't say nothing too crazy, it was kind of out of the blue, but like it is a little early to get these January rumors, so I don't know how true they are. But today we are going to be talking about some of my predictions. So first let's go over what we have for 2027 so far. So next year is obviously the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, 50 years since the release of A New Hope back in 1977, so definitely a cool year. But one of these sets we got leaked, which was originally on my prediction list, was a Playscale Y-Wing. I knew they were going to make a Y-Wing somehow, especially since it like shows up in A New Hope, kind of has a big deal, and it hasn't been made since this Rogue One version, at least this coloration of it. So we are supposed to get that, I believe, $80 or $70, releasing in January. It is a playset. That one's definitely interesting. I would have had this on the list if it wasn't already rumored. And then another thing we are rumored to be getting is a George Lucas minifigure. And if you remember a while ago, we got some summer of 2026 sets leaked. And one of them was like a Icons of Star Wars or Star Wars movie poster set. And then a bunch of those either got canceled or pushed back to 2027 or like realized they were 2027 leaks. So I feel like this character could go in there. Or it could be part of the anniversary figs we are getting next year, like with the 20th and 25th anniversary of Star Wars. We are supposed to get 50th anniversary, or anniversaries of LEGO Star Wars were those last one. This one is for the 50th anniversary of just Star Wars in general. They are supposed to be based off of the concept art, as you can see here we have some. But so George Lucas might be one of those, but the other ones are supposed to be minifigs based off of the concept art that we are getting, or they might just be random characters, we don't really know, but the concept art idea does seem very cool, very interesting. So here are some of the predictions of sets that I feel like we could see in 2027. So one thing I feel like we are going to get is some sort of MIDI scale ship, especially with how popular those are, and the Venator and AT-AT from this year were very popular. We don't have any MIDI scale set leaked in January, which is kind of odd. That's usually when they release them, but they might wait until May. And even though it is the 50th anniversary of just all of Star Wars, it's really for A New Hope, so I feel like LEGO is going to focus on that. And so there's a couple of things that I feel like LEGO could do with MIDI scale. One thing I feel like they could do is a Star Destroyer, and this is a very nice version off of Rebrickable, I believe. And I just feel like it would fit very well with all of the other ships that they have. It's kind of one of these ships that you would think they would have made in MIDI scale already, and they haven't, so I feel like they could take this opportunity. And then kind of similar to the 25th anniversary sets with those little plaques, they could put those on the stand with the 50th anniversary logo, which definitely looks very nice with the black and gold. Another thing that I feel like they could do here is similar to how they made the mini scale Millennium Falcon. I feel like they could do that with either a TIE Fighter or X-Wing. I feel like that's something that people haven't really thought of, and it may seem a little weird to get something like this, especially because you could probably take some of the smaller playset builds and put them on there, but I feel like LEGO could do something interesting here. I feel like a Star Destroyer would work best. And then another thing that would be nice is a MIDI scale Death Star, so that way we could get the Death Star in a different form rather than the gigantic $1,000 UCS one. But as far as MIDI scale sets, that's all that I think we could really get. I mean, there's nothing else too interesting in the original trilogy that we haven't already gotten. I mean, we could get a MIDI scale A-Wing, but like I said, that just wouldn't really work. They could get something from a different trilogy, we don't really know. But then as far as playsets, one thing I feel like a lot of people would think is an X-Wing, but I feel like we're not going to get that because we already have the Playscale version and the New Republic X-Wing on shelves, and those are very similar, so I feel like if they threw out another one, it would be too similar to both of these. So I feel like one thing they're definitely going to do is remake a Playscale TIE Fighter. We've gotten a couple of those, and ever since the Han Solo one, I feel like that one was really nice. I have the one you see on the screen now, and I like it, but it's definitely smaller. I feel like they could do one like this and the Han Solo one, like in between there. And then play sets from like this are a opportunity for us to get some of the minifigs locked behind that $1,000 Death Star. especially some of the officers like these. And then another couple ideas for a playset is a new Tantive 4. I feel like they could do something a little smaller than the Ultimate, or not, it wasn't UCS, I forget. It might have been a Master Builder Series one, I don't know. It might have been UCS, but this one you see here, I feel like they could do something like that and throw in some new, Bail Organa, Leia, nice minifigs. And then one other thing is I feel like this one's not as likely going to happen, but we could get a play scale Death Star, so that way we could have something a little more affordable than the $1,000 UCS one. And then again, like I said, it would be a way for us to get some of those nicer minifigs, but that's probably the least likely to happen out of all of those. And then next up here, I feel like we are going to get some sort of battle pack. We do have an Endor battle pack rumored already, so we might get some Scout Troopers in that, which is nice. But I feel like if LEGO were to do something A New Hope based, they would make some sort of Sand Trooper battle pack and give us a bunch of the nice Sand Trooper designs. Maybe LEGO will redo the Stormtrooper helmet, I don't know. At this point, I have so many of these Stormtroopers, the Family Guy Stormtroopers as people call them, that I'm kind of be annoyed when LEGO makes a new one, because then it just won't match. I feel like that's been an issue with Stormtroopers. I kind of like all of my helmets to match, and just it looks better. It's just a pet peeve of mine. And then one last thing I want to talk about here is designs of box arts. So the last anniversary style box art we got was the 25th anniversary one. And the idea that I think LEGO might go with, or at least I hope they do, is take this design and give it, and this is really bad editing on my part, so sorry, some sort of gold design like this. Keep the anniversary minifig area, just put the 50th anniversary of Star Wars there instead, and I feel like this would look cool. It would definitely make these sets pop on shelves. We have the Mandalorian and Grogu ones with blue, the other ones have a black, so if you get this nice bright gold look, it will definitely pop. It will look more exclusive, I feel like, make it seem more limited edition. I feel like LEGO could do this to try and get more people to buy these. And then the other thing is the design of the anniversary plaque, and it's probably just going to be like usual, just with a 50th anniversary logo on there instead of 25th anniversary LEGO Star Wars. But I hope they make it similar so that way you can continue to connect all of your anniversary figures, and definitely this will look cool, hopefully. I feel like this is kind of a given on how this will look unless they do something different. But those are all of my predictions for 2027 sets. I don't really know when some of these will release. I feel like for the May UCS set, it might be a Darth Vader Side Advanced. I don't really know. But once we get closer, get some more rumors and leaks, I will try and make an updated video about what we could get, what we know we're getting, what we're probably not. But like I said, that is it for the video. Please make sure you do like and subscribe if you enjoyed, to help support the channel and reach our goal of 250 subscribers by the end of the year. Enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure you tune in for the next one.